Hi, today I'd like to show you a few more world coins. We're going to start off with this silver proof coin. Remembrance Alderney £5. So it is 2015. Remembrance Day is a remembrance for the First World War, and it's come to be a remembrance for all who've died in wars. So the First World War ended on the 11th hour of the 11th day, 1918. And since then it's been a Remembrance Day. And poppies are very popular because when the fighting, and especially things like craters done by mortars, by shell fire, the first thing that sprung up was the poppies. And so Flanders Field in current day Belgium was full of these poppies. And so it's a reminder of the fallen, because red is often associated with blood and martyrdom. And it was because these poppies grew very quickly out of these bomb holes. An awful, tragic war. It was the first sort of, well, apart from the American Civil War was getting there, it was a bloodbath because it was not just small armies, these were large armies, and it was a mechanical slog of just when you had a shell, you could kill hundreds of thousands with these shells, rather than in the old medieval days where it's you with a sword, you could only kill maybe 20 or 30 before coming completely exhausted. So the killing on these, when it became industrialized, you've got these new weapons coming in, new explosive shells. War became, instead of hundreds and maybe a few thousand, became sort of millions. So Alderney often makes lots of commemorative stamps. Well, they do stamps as well, but commemorative coins helps their industry. And here we've got a little leaflet. If you want to read it, just put on the pause so you can read it. And they put in lots of these poppies in Tower of London. Tower of London moat. They made these. It comes in a nice little. Oh, this one. Sorry, got a new one. It's not the old one. This is another Poppies Day, but this is the UK one. I can get it out. So this one is Silence Speaks When Words Cannot. Again, poppies, that reference to the poppies being blood and coming out of the ground so quickly. A £5 coin again. This one is 2017, and this is a UK one. Again, it's got a little notebook with it. So you can pause it if you want to read all the information. Some pictures there. And there's the poppies in the moat of the Tower of London. Very beautiful, moving scene. There's a cenotaph that commemorates the wars, and I believe there is silent reflection. Everybody goes quiet for 5 minutes as bells rung out. And that is the 11th hour, 11 o'clock on the 11th day of the 11th month. So it's 3/11s, 11th hour, 11th day of the 11th month, 1918. Very few people are now left that can remember the wars, because even if you're in the Second World War, I don't know if there's anybody left now from the First World War, but even the Second World War, you would be quite old. So let's have a look at a few world stamps. Romania, 20 Li or Li, I'm not sure how you say that, 1930. So Romania had been a kingdom. I think this is Michael, 1930. It's a family, 20 Li, 1930, between the wars. Canada, 1954, 5 cents. It's got a beaver on it, very popular on Canadian motifs. It's got these edges, scalloped edges, and we've got the young portrait of Elizabeth II. Cuba, 1960, 5 cents, near the time of the JFK assassination. Republic de Cuba, 5 centavos. So if you want to learn languages, just do coin collecting and you'll know lots of languages. V for 5 in Latin. There's Patria v Libertà, something, so it's fatherland, is it? And liberty, 1960. Cuba. France, 1989, 5 francs. So we've got the Tower, Eiffel Tower, must be a centenary, 1889 to 1989. Now the Tower of London, the Eiffel Tower, sorry, because they've got Tower Eiffel in French. They always usually do it backwards, but we say Eiffel Tower. Eiffel being I think it was the architect who made the tower. And it was to do with one of the exhibitions, and it was supposed to be just going up there just for the exhibition, but it was decided to keep it there afterwards. Then we got the usual République Française, 5 francs. Now we've got Philippines, 1984, 2 pesos, if I'm saying that right. So we've got palm tree, because Philippines is tropical island, or islands. It's got several thousand islands make up the Philippines. I think it's a coconut tree, I think there. 2 pesos. And then the Republica ng Filipinas, 1984. I believe that is one of the early revolutionary leaders of the Philippines. So a lot of these coins, they do show you about history, a bit of politics, geography, everything really. So Poland, 1967, 10 zloty. There we got 1897, I think it is, to 1947. So an anniversary of this guy. Polish is well known for being extremely hard to say, because there seems to be loads of consonants all shoved in together, you know. It is a difficult language, though it is very similar to Russian and Belarus and Czech. It has a lot of differences as well. 10 zloty, and the eagle, that is the emblem of Poland. Again, with some incomprehensible letters. They like their C's and Z's all together. An R and Z, what do you say? How do you say that? How do you say that? Right, Vatican. The old Vatican, 100 lira, 1955. They still produce their own coins, though they are a state of their own. So the Vatican City, they used to be the Papal States because they used to have a lot of central. Italy was under their control. They were like a sovereign state. They're still a sovereign state, but only for the city of the Vatican City, which is really a very small area, just of the cathedral and the surrounds. So we've got Pius the 12th, I think it is. So the Pope on one side, and a cross on the other. City del of the Vatican City. 100 lira. I'm not sure if you can still, I think they do the euro in the Vatican now, but whether you can use these coins in Italy rather than just the Vatican, I don't know. I suppose if they are euros, you can use them anywhere, I don't know. This one, Netherlands Antilles. I think this is in Caribbean. 1971, 25 cents. So an emblem of the Dutch had quite a big empire once. They were forced out by the British of quite a few places. I think they had Ceylon and they had a few other places that we pushed. Well, they had New York, which used to be under Dutch control, but we forced them out. 25 cents. So their empire was much bigger than just the Antilles and Indonesia that they later had. This is another one. I think I showed another one the other episode, but this one is a different value. The Dutch Indies, 1921. So I think I showed you a similar one, but a different value last time. Honduras in Central America. Again, a Spanish-speaking country, 1956. 10 centavos. On this side, Republic de Honduras, and the emblem of Honduras. All these sort of Central American countries, they've got very similar flags. They seem to be blue stripe, a white stripe, and a blue stripe. So it's all blue and white. And then they have their own emblems on it and that sort of stuff, just showing that they were once united as a Central American state once. Luxembourg, 1949. Luxembourg, a very small country, but extremely wealthy now because of banking and companies registering there because they've got a very low tax rate. So there's not many people there. It's a very, very wealthy country. I'm not sure why the EU still keeps these countries, because they're supposed to really standardise all their tax across the whole EU really. Otherwise, it's a bit like Ireland as well. They're doing it where they're big tax reductions for places like Google and Amazon and that. I think they're in Ireland. So I think Irish, their PPPs are better. £135,000 per person or something. Whether the actual individual Irish people have that much money, or whether it's just a few very, very, very wealthy people, I don't know. So it is a Grand Duchy. I think it's the only one left now in, or is there one? What's Monaco? I'm not sure what Monaco is. There's a Grand Duchy still in Luxembourg, and there's still bits of Luxembourg. They're still in, I think in Belgium they've got a part of Luxembourg, because there used to be a very larger part. They do speak a number of languages. I think there's French, German, and there is their own language, Luxembourgish, which is like a dialect of German. So it's very similar to the German spoken on the borders with Luxembourg. But German used to be split up into all these hundreds of little statelets once, and they all had their own dialects of German, so they are quite... Nowadays there's a standard German, but before that there would have been quite a variety of dialects, some of them probably being incomprehensible to each other. Now you've only just got a small number, like Bavarian, I think is quite different. So it is 5 francs. So Luxembourg, and also Luxembourgish is a combination of German with some French influences and stuff like that. Okay, that's a few coins I've got for you today. I hope that was of interest. Please give us a thumbs up, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll come back to you soon with some more coins, and I'll come back to you with some other items that I think you might find of interest of the Georgian period as well. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.